Okay, we're live. Hello, beautiful soul. Take a deep, deep breath with me wherever you are. I'd love for us to sigh it out. Create some vibration with that. Inhale deep. Good, sigh it out. Do a little wiggle, shake it out. I'm so excited to talk with you about magic, about alchemy, and about transformation. So I've been studying this for a while, and I just went on a walk and it all just kind of hit me. And so I felt guided to connect with you and share a little bit about this. So let me know whether you're watching this live or you're watching this later, and welcome. Thank you so much for connecting with me in this space. When it turns fall, do you feel magical? Do you feel witchy or warlocky? Or does something in the air remind you of magic? Let me know. For me, it is a hell to the yeah. I mean, the moment that cool breeze hits me, I'm like, get out the witch boots. Turn on the candles, light the fires, and let's practice magic. What does that mean? So this is coming from me, so this is going to be biased, this is going to be personal, but I really wanted to share this because I think, one, it's extremely helpful, two, it's really fun, and three, it connects us to all of life. So what is magic? And I'm going to talk about this very specifically. A big part of this is what is known as within, so without. What does that mean? That means the entire reality that we perceive externally is a mirror to ourself in some way. We are all co-creators of this planet. So here's your empowerment. There's no victims, there is only lessons and ways to get better and ways to transform. So when I think about my children's children and how I want to make a better world for my children's children, for all beings on this earth, my biggest method for doing that is this: facing my own shit. Because I know that as I unlock my own wounds, so too will my children. And as I break the paradigms in myself, a big one is unworthiness, okay? That's a big one. As I break it in myself, I interrupt the pattern, and therefore that ripples out into the rest of the planet. So a lot of people say, you guys, the biggest work that we can do is in our own consciousness, is in ourselves, right? And so let's talk about magic and alchemy, because this time of year is a really potent time. Have you noticed that? And I already mentioned this, but let me know if you feel magic coming in during this time of year. So that can be many things. That can be poetry and art. That can be intuition. That can be a heightened sensitivity, a heightened psychic awareness, a deeper connection to your emotions, perhaps more powerful emotions, right? Something about this season calls us to make space. Why? Probably for many reasons, but here's one of them. Because it's harvest season. Yeah? In the summer we expand. It's Pitta, if you're familiar with Ayurveda. It's Pitta. It is external. It's external. And when the seasons shift, when the cool air flows in, all of a sudden we're like, oh, I feel depressed. Or, oh man, I want to make my life better. It's a turning in. Winter is yin, or kapha in the Ayurveda tradition. And so we're starting to look inside at what's happening here. And here's the magical piece. As we turn the wheel in ourselves, as we shift our own consciousness, I love to talk about this, so if you want more, let me know. As we shift our own consciousness, we create what is called alchemy. Alchemy is based on that idea of as within, so without. So think about a butterfly. A butterfly turns in on itself, and what does it turn into? Goop. It crumbles. It crumbles. It crumbles. Raise your hand if you've already begun the crumbling of this season. I have. Yeah. Sure enough. You with me? I mean, it's all the time. But when this season hits, our self-growth hits. We turn in. And so the butterfly goes into the cocoon and it deconstructs, which for many feels like hell. Welcome to shadow work. Welcome to grief. Welcome to purging, to loving the parts of you that are in pain. And in the tarot, the traditional archetype tarot, the card, the Tower, comes to mind. And we don't need to resist this. So the Tower represents the breaking down of what no longer serves you. Yeah. So if you are feeling like something is a-stirring, some pain is rising, then you're a magician and you're ready to alchemize. So go into your cocoon, light your candles, lay on the floor, and say, wow, I am going to hold a badass container for myself. Britt says, loving and comforting your inner child, so important in times of transformation. Absolutely. So let me share something personal that happened to me. So I've had a weird couple of 2 days. And I know now, doesn't mean I like it, I know now that when I feel an invoking pain, and the weird thing is about my experience, let me know if you relate to this, the pain that comes up from within me really doesn't even have a big cause on the outside. Thanks for the hearts. Love you guys. So sometimes the pain just wells up and I'm like, oh, okay. Where did it come from? Right? And so here's what happened. I spent a day, probably less than a day, trying to fix myself. Oh, be happy, be happy. You know, I did that a little bit subconsciously. I want to feel better, be high vibe. And then I said, Ashley, don't bypass yourself, honey. Take your own medicine. Embrace your shadow. Embrace your shadow. Let's take a deep breath. Exhale, sigh it out. So what happened? So for me, I am deeply, deeply dedicated to a morning meditation practice. So here's what happened with me this morning. Here's my alchemy, my butterfly moment. So I went into meditation. I was still feeling pain, right? Emotional, kind of somatic pain, just, something doesn't feel right. And so I'm sitting in meditation, and by this point, I know that when I feel this way, I am breaking through to my next level. I am preparing for a blessing. And the trains are going off, my love. I am preparing for a blessing. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't cry and throw a fit. Like, I don't feel good. That's okay. It's part of it. I'm not going to sit back and drink Kool-Aid and say, ooh, I like it. Maybe when I'm advanced, I'll enjoy the crumbling a little bit more. That's a goal of mine, actually. Who wants to enjoy their process of transformation more? I'm going to raise my hand with that. Right? And so when I was meditating today, here's what happened. I surrendered to the emotions and I started breathing and I did my prayers. I called in my guides, right? And all of a sudden I saw a memory that connected to a dream I had. So the memory was my dad calling me crazy. I'm going to open up this right here for you, this heart. So my dad called me crazy. Hashtag I'm emotional. Hashtag we got wild emotions over here. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So when I was a kid, my dad called me crazy and he never really showed up on the emotional world for me to protect me and tell me that he loves me in all of me. So I was like, well, shit, that freaking hurts. And so I brought forward that self, and then I integrated a couple more things, a couple more memories that came up that were very painful. So here's what I did. Okay, I felt the pain surge. Here's how to hold space for yourself. I hope this helps, okay? So I said, And I just watched the memories, and I felt, and I said, how old are you, Ash? So I asked myself how old I was when that happened. 12. Okay? And I cried, and I said, I am right here with you. Everything that you feel is valid. I breathed, and I said, I am going to stay here forever with you. I am not leaving. Wouldn't you want a lover to speak with you like that? We are becoming our own lovers. We are becoming our own parents. We are becoming our own best friends. Right? And so I put my hands on my heart, you guys, and I had some memories come up, yeah, that are traumatic memories. And I sat there and I just cried and I said, I just waited with her, my inner child, and I thanked her for showing up. And then I started to create some resolve. Okay, so what's the resolve piece? That's like putting yourself back together a little bit. So the breaking down, the crumbling, that's the part of the butterfly in the cocoon. That's a huge part of alchemy, guys. We really cannot make this world a better place unless we face our own shadows. Who's with me? I'm gonna pause on that. We cannot make this world a better place unless we heal our own pain. Yeah, that's badass. So, yes, thank you. So, what's the resolve? The resolve is asking that part of you what it needs from you. What does it need? And later, after this, you guys, all my pain washed away. This was effective. I wouldn't be sharing this if it didn't work. It worked. And it's going to continue to work because I'm going to continue to practice this, right? So I created a resolve. I said, Ash, because here's another thing in my heart. I had this obsession, y'all, with wanting to be discovered. Like I had this gift of singing, right? As a kid, and I craved to be discovered. And guess what? I wasn't at that time. I wanted nothing more than for somebody to look at me and said, you are fucking awesome. And it didn't happen when I was a kid. So I left singing for a while. I used to search online so much for talent shows. See me, see me, see me. Right? Who can relate to this? And so what was my resolve? I felt those feelings. And it kind of felt good to feel them because I was no longer resisting them. And then here's the resolve. I said, Ash, this will be different for you. This is when you pour the medicine into your soul, okay? And you do it genuinely. So I said, Ash, those were not your people. Thanks for the hearts. Love you guys. The people who did not see you were not meant to see you. That's when I pour the medicine into my heart. I say, Ash, you are worthy of celebration. And now I said to my younger self, I said, guess what? When you get older, my love, your voice is going to heal people. Damn, that felt good. That's even better than, and I also heard, Ash, your voice is not entertainment. It's for soul healing, my love. And of course I wanted to be on American Idol and da-da-da-da-da. And so that felt so good. The people who are meant to be your soulmates are going to see you and love you and celebrate you. Those were not your people. Okay? And then I forgave my dad, which I'll continue to do. Because nobody's perfect, right? I forgave my dad for not loving me when I was depressed. I forgave my dad, or at least that's what I thought. I forgave my dad for calling me crazy. Okay? I forgave him. And I'm saying a lot of words, but I embodied this practice. This is an embodied practice, and it is alchemy. As within, so without. The process of creating a resolve by asking the part of you what it needs. What it needs. You're pouring medicine in, okay? And then you start to rebuild. And then you're a little tender. You're a little raw. I don't know what word I was trying to say. You're a little raw, okay? So take a couple deep breaths with me. And that's what we're asked to do this time of year. Like I said, we're coming into harvest. What happens when we're ready to harvest? We have to shed a little bit. We gotta let some stuff go. We gotta break down a little bit. So what I want to say is this: if you're breaking down, hallelujah. Hallelujah. And I'm not bypassing the pain. I love a good cry. There is no bypassing in this space. I feel you on your grief. And with all change, and I actually have a post this time last year that talks about grief. Because we're shedding, we're creating space. We're shedding, we're creating space. I used to watch a lot of Joel Osteen, which I still do sometimes. I love devotion, and the things that he says sometimes really connect to mindset, so I dig that. So here's something that he said that has rung a bell for me. When it gets really hard, you're about to give birth. When you hit a challenge, you're about to step into a blessing. You're being prepared. So in this space, I want to empower you. And I want to remind you that you're spot on, that you're doing it right. Telling myself that you're doing it right. You get to feel pain and joy interconnected. Two sides of the same coin. And somebody who is woke, here's what I feel. Somebody who is woke is willing to feel it. Feel it to heal it. And like I said earlier, I am not willing to not look at my own pain, because I want my children's children to be lit. I am breaking the ancestral patterns. And one pattern that I'm breaking that's really big is abundance and spirituality. And this is just for me personally. You might relate to this if you're a spiritual person. I am merging the worlds of spirit and physical abundance. That's a big thing for me in this life. Being a spiritual healer can be a job. I can put all my attention into healing myself and transmitting energies and helping other people heal themselves. That blows my mind that I can do that for work. So let me just remind you, you can do whatever you want. My dad taught me, if you want it bad enough, you'll make it happen. Here's something else I'll share. So before I did my event last Sunday, and I have another one this Sunday, if you want to join me and dive deeper into this, and we'll do some embodiment practices. It's called emotion. So before I did my event last Sunday, I went outside and prayed a bit and prepared the space, primed the space, which is priming me because the transitions are flowing in. I'm holding a tight container of safety, right? And so I was outside and I saw an ancestor drop in front of me, and she gave me a key. And she said, here's the key. And clearly I'm still healing from this because I just felt a wave of, am I doing it right? Am I doing okay? So we walk together in this. Hey, thanks for the hearts, guys. So thank you for that. You see how we're all connected? You see how nobody's perfect? You see how we're in this together? Let's take a breath. This perfectly goes into my next point. The key is worthiness. The key is empowerment. The key is literally worthiness. I am worthy of a damn good life. Because when you heal yourself, you heal the world. Now, I'm not saying that I'm asking you to go inside and shut your door unless you want to, all right? But I am saying that I think the greatest thing we can do for this planet right now is to face ourselves. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions about this, or if you want me to talk more about magic, alchemy, or some specific rituals or practices. So if something's coming up, I'd love to connect on something specific if you haven't. I want to share how you're feeling. We're also in Libra. So Libra is the realm of relationships. And we're at the beginning of Libra. So the beginning of Libra is the relationship to yourself. And as we change the relationship to ourself, all other relationships shift in our reality. Because again, the principle of magic, of alchemy, of breaking down and building up is as within, so without. All right. So let's do a little meditation if you're open to it. Let's clear some energy out. So let's do a little embodied meditation, and you can return to this if you're interested, so I'll post this. So let's do a little embodied alchemy meditation right now, yeah? So I'll have you close your eyes or look towards the ground and take 5 minutes to be here with me. This stuff works, guys. I'm going to invite you to do this with me. You want to take Yana Mudra, Wisdom Mudra, connect thumb and pointer fingers on the lap. Close the eyes and start to breathe. Breathe consciously. Relax the shoulders. And you can say this out loud. I call all of my power back to me right now. And your next breath out, root further into the ground. Connect to the rich soil of Mother Earth. You can even place the hands on the ground and connect downwards. Connect to present moment. Root yourself like a tree. And what I want you to do is feed your awareness, meaning witness this present moment without trying to change it. Soften your belly. Tip the chin in a little bit so the crown is lifted. Imagine around your body you have a beautiful gold or silver or sparkly light. And here's the practice. Witness without trying to change anything. And telling yourself now, I am completely here with you now. So what I'm picking up on, and thank you so much for being here with me, what I'm picking up on is this collective feeling of I'm not doing it right and I'm not perfect. Phone call, sorry y'all. And what I want us to do, remember, what you resist persists. So here's the idea of alchemy. It says to look at that, if you feel that, to look at that and breathe that into your body. Actually make it bigger. Make it bigger and accept it as the witness. The process of alchemy is not to turn away from the shadow, it's to actually turn towards it. That's how we break patterns. And how we make the unconscious conscious is we look at it and we bring it towards us. That's very powerful. So bring it closer. Bring it closer to you. Place the hands on the body. Really hold yourself in this space of empowerment and renewal. And what I want you to imagine doing, you guys, is to imagine dancing with your darkness and your energy, your wounds and your joy and your becoming. This is a process of becoming whole. Okay? And this time of year also has to do with dance and play, nature. So I'm going to call in some light energy, some playful energy. And start to move a little bit with everything that you are right now. Start to sway, start to move with it. Can you hold space for every emotion? And to see the beauty in every emotion. The woke folks are here to feel. Feel everything. Remember, this time of year involves a lot of grieving most of the time, okay? At least for me. Because there's shedding and there's big blessings dropping in. And so now I want you to say, I am open to new blessings. Claim it out loud. I am so open to receive. Do you feel, let me know, do you feel like a whole person when you do that practice? What does that feel like when you dance with every part of you and accept every emotion? What does that feel like? What I want you to do this evening is do whatever the hell you want to do. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your life. Smell your dinner. Embrace your dinner. Here's another little thing that I posted about on my stories. Everything has consciousness. We can go to the earth, put our hands on the ground, and feel her heartbeat. I never knew this when I was growing up. Thanks for the hearts, y'all. And maybe I knew it as a kid, but I was quickly programmed, hey, earth has no feelings. Oh, she does. Now is the time to speak to the earth. And if you can't hear her, here's what you can say. Oh, Mother Earth, thank you so much for being here with me. I want to deepen our relationship. So I'm going to offer you a song. I'm going to offer you my gratitude. I'm going to offer you something. When I went to speak with that tree, I found this really beautiful tree and I sat down with it. And the first thing I did was I pumped love into it. Giving. And I could feel it, right? And then it was giving me love back. It said, Ashley, open your heart to receive me now. And I said, whoa, okay. And so all is relationship. So when you eat your food, you can say, thank you so much. This is a time of magic and blessings. Thank your water. Thank it all. Thank yourself. And this is a pretty interesting time of year, okay? So get out your witch boots. That's what I do. Put on your music. Dance with every part of you, okay? And get ready for blessings. I'm going to leave it there. Get ready for love, blessings, and transformations. As you move and accept all of you, that is the magic. That takes things in the unconscious, brings it into consciousness, and so we are whole. One bit at a time. I hope this helped you. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to save this video, so please come back to it if it helped you. Share it with somebody if you feel like doing that and sharing this wisdom and this beautiful energy, this meditation with them. If you would like to join me Sunday, then you can click the link in my bio to explore more. Either way, I'm so grateful for you, and you are doing amazing. Whew. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you soon. Bye, you guys. Thanks, Britt.